Hey there, you're looking kind of cute. Don't forget to subscribe and check out all my other socials. Enjoy. There was a knock at the door while the evening news talked about traffic. The man in the gray t-shirt and old jeans put down his beer and walked across the wooden floor of his small apartment. He looked through the peephole and saw someone in pink. He opened the door. He saw someone he knew, but they looked very different. The person had long auburn hair, a pink blouse, and a black skirt. Black heels made her look taller than before. Eugene? The voice was warm, but higher and softer. He stared. Daniel? It's Danielle now. She moved her black purse to her other shoulder. Can I come in? Eugene stepped aside, still processing. The last time he'd seen his college roommate was at graduation 5 years ago. Buzz cut, football jersey, the whole 9 yards. Now Danielle moved with practiced grace in her heels, smoothing her skirt as she sat on his worn couch. I know this is a shock. Danielle crossed her legs at the ankle. I tried calling, but your number changed. Yeah, I moved around a lot after college. Eugene remained standing, arms crossed. When did you... About 3 years ago. Started transitioning right after I got my nursing degree. She tucked a strand of auburn hair behind her ear, revealing small pearl earrings. Been living as myself ever since. Eugene's hands trembled. He shoved them in his pockets. Nursing? Pediatric ward at Children's Hospital. Love it. Danielle studied his face. You okay? You look pale. Fine, just... This is a lot. I get it. Trust me, I know how strange this must be. She leaned forward. But Eugene, you were always the one person I thought might understand. Remember those late nights in the dorm when we'd talk about feeling different? The words hit like a physical blow. Eugene's throat constricted. Those conversations had danced around edges neither of them dared cross back then. Want some water? He fled to the kitchen before she could answer. Eugene! Danielle followed, her heels clicking on the linoleum. Talk to me. His hands gripped the counter. The secret he'd carried for so long pressed against his ribs, demanding release. How did you know? The question came out strangled. Know what? That you needed to transition. Danielle's expression softened. Oh, honey, is that what this is about? The dam broke. Eugene's shoulders shook as years of hidden shame poured out. Danielle wrapped her arms around him, the scent of her perfume both foreign and comforting. Show me, she whispered. Eugene pulled away, wiping his face. What? Whatever you're hiding, show me. His feet felt leaden as he led her to his bedroom. The closet door mocked him. Inside, behind his work clothes, hung the secret wardrobe he'd accumulated over years of furtive shopping trips, dresses in jewel tones, skirts in various lengths, boxes of heels, a drawer full of carefully folded lingerie. Danielle ran her fingers along the fabrics. These are beautiful. How long? Since high school. Maybe earlier. Eugene couldn't meet her eyes. I'd wait until everyone left, then you'd be yourself. The truth of it knocked the air from his lungs. I don't think I'm... Trans? Maybe not. Maybe you are. That's for you to figure out. Danielle pulled out a deep purple dress. But clearly this is important to you. I've tried to stop, threw everything away twice, but I always end up buying more. Because it's part of who you are. She held the dress up to him. This would look stunning with your coloring. Eugene's laugh came out broken. Right. I'm serious. Have you ever... fully dressed? Makeup, hair, everything? Heat flooded his cheeks. A few times, when I was sure no one would catch me. And how did it feel? The question hung between them. Eugene remembered standing before his mirror, transformed, feeling simultaneously terrified and more himself than ever. Like I could breathe, he admitted. Danielle set the dress on the bed. Want to show me? Now? Why not? I'm here. I understand. When will you have this chance again? Eugene's hands shook as he retrieved the purple dress. Turn around? Danielle smiled and faced the wall. The familiar ritual began, stripping away the masculine uniform, sliding into silk and satin. The dress hugged in all the right places. He'd gotten good at the tucking, the subtle padding. From a box under the bed came the auburn wig he'd splurged on last month, styled in loose waves that fell past his shoulders. "Can I look?" Eugene applied lipstick with practiced strokes. "Almost." Foundation to soften his jaw. Eyeshadow in complementary shades. Mascara to enhance already long lashes. The black pumps completed the transformation. "Okay." Danielle turned and gasped. "Oh my God, you're gorgeous." "Stop." "No, I mean it. You look..." She circled, taking in every angle. "Have you chosen a name?" The question she'd never dared ask herself. But standing there, reflected in Danielle's accepting gaze, the answer surfaced. "Amira. I've always liked Amira." "Amira." Danielle tested the name. "It's perfect. How do you feel?" Tears threatened to ruin carefully applied makeup. "Like myself." "Then why are you crying?" "Because tomorrow I have to go back to being Eugene, and the next day and every day after." Danielle took her hands. "What if you didn't?" "Be serious." "I am. Amira, listen to me. I have a 2-bedroom apartment. My roommate just moved out. I need someone to split rent. You're suggesting I live with you? As Amira? Why not? You could be yourself at home. Figure out what you want without pressure." The room spun. "I can't. My job..." "You work from home 3 days a week. You told me that earlier." Danielle squeezed her hands. "On those days, you could be Amira. See how it feels to live that way part-time. What about the other days? Whatever you're comfortable with. No pressure to do anything you're not ready for." Amira stared at their joined hands, one manicured, one not. Yet. "This is crazy." "Is it? We were roommates for 4 years. We know each other's habits. Plus, I could help with makeup tips, shopping, whatever you need." "Why would you do this?" "Because I remember feeling trapped in the wrong body. I remember the fear, the shame, the desperate need to be seen." Danielle's eyes glistened. No one should face that alone. The offer hung between them, shimmering with possibility. Amira thought of returning to her empty apartment, hanging up the purple dress, washing away the makeup, becoming Eugene again. The prospect felt like dying. "When could I move in?" Danielle's face lit up. "This weekend?" The next few days passed in a blur. Eugene gave notice on his studio, packed his life into boxes. The feminine wardrobe went into special garment bags, handled with reverence. His male clothes filled far fewer boxes. Had his real life always been so small? Saturday morning, Danielle arrived with a rented van. She wore jeans and a green sweater, auburn hair in a ponytail. They loaded boxes in companionable silence, years of friendship bridging the gap time had created. The apartment building sat in a quiet neighborhood, tree-lined streets and coffee shops on every corner. Danielle's unit occupied the 3rd floor, spacious and filled with natural light. "This is your room." She opened the door to reveal hardwood floors, large windows, a closet that could hold secrets or display them proudly. "The bathroom's across the hall. We'll share, but there's plenty of counter space." They spent the day unpacking. Eugene's male clothes went in the dresser, functional and forgettable. But when Danielle helped hang the dresses, skirts, and blouses in the closet, the space transformed into possibility. "Try this." Danielle returned from her room with an auburn wig, longer and more natural-looking than Amira's. Real hair. I wore it early in my transition before mine grew out. The wig settled perfectly, framing Amira's face in soft waves. In the mirror, she looked less like a man in a dress and more like herself. "Keep it," Danielle said. "It matches your coloring better than it ever did mine." That evening, they ordered Chinese food. Amira wore a simple blue dress, feet tucked under her on the couch. Danielle had insisted she stay dressed, get comfortable existing in her own space as herself. "So how does this work?" Amira picked at her lo mein. "Living as 2 people? However you want it to. Some people go back and forth forever. Some eventually transition fully. Some find a middle ground." Danielle sipped her wine. "There's no right way." Did you always know you'd transition fully? God, no, I fought it for years. Tried to convince myself I could just cross-dress occasionally, get it out of my system. She laughed. That lasted about 6 months once I started living part-time as myself. What changed? I realized the boy stuff felt like the costume. Being Danielle felt natural. Eugene might be different for you, or Amira might be. Only you can know. They talked late into the night, sharing stories of secret shopping trips, close calls, the peculiar grief of living a divided life. When Amira finally went to bed, she left the auburn wig on its stand. The blue dress hung carefully in the now open closet. Monday came too soon. Eugene emerged for work, polo shirt and khakis replacing silk and lace. But knowing Amira waited in the closet made the masculine drag bearable. Working from home took on new meaning. Tuesday morning, Amira appeared, savoring coffee in a floral sundress while answering emails. Her productivity soared. No energy wasted on maintaining a facade. "How was your day?" Danielle asked that evening, still in her pink scrubs from the hospital. "Productive, comfortable." Amira smoothed her dress. "Normal." "Good. Oh, I grabbed this on my lunch break." She produced a makeup palette. "Your coloring's similar to mine. Thought we could practice some techniques this weekend." The kindness overwhelmed. "You don't have to keep buying me things." "I'm not. I'm investing in my roommate's happiness." Danielle started dinner prep. "Plus, teaching you helps me remember how far I've come." Days developed rhythm. Eugene on Mondays and Thursdays. Amira the rest. Weekends belonged entirely to her. Shopping trips where Danielle taught her to find clothes that flattered. Brunch at cafes where no one looked twice at two women laughing over mimosas. "You're getting comfortable," Danielle observed one Saturday. They were trying on shoes at a department store, Amira confident enough now to shop in person. "These heels are actually easier to walk in than my first pair." Amira admired the black pumps in the mirror. "I meant comfortable being yourself. You're not checking over your shoulder constantly anymore." It was true. Somewhere between moving in and now, the fear had faded. Being Amira in public felt less like performance and more like living. "I think..." Amira sat beside her friend. "I think I want to try going full-time." Danielle's face remained carefully neutral. "What does that mean to you? Living as Amira always? Maybe hormones eventually? I've been researching." "And work?" "I'd have to come out. HR has policies. It wouldn't be easy, but..." She thought of Monday looming, of becoming Eugene again. "I'm tired of switching back and forth. It's exhausting." "It is." Danielle took her hand. "Whatever you decide, I'm here." The decision, once voiced, felt inevitable. That weekend, Amira drafted an email to HR, hands steady on the keyboard. Monday morning, she sent it wearing her purple dress, auburn hair styled professionally. The response came quicker than expected, a meeting scheduled for Wednesday, resources attached, assurances of support. The corporate world had evolved since Danielle's transition. "Wear the navy suit," Danielle suggested Tuesday night. "Professional, but still you." The meeting went better than feared. HR had protocols, paperwork, a timeline for transitioning in the workplace. Amira left with packets of information and a strange lightness in her chest. "How do you feel?" Danielle asked over dinner. Terrified, relieved, real. Amira pushed food around her plate. "I made an appointment with your doctor for next week." "Dr. Martinez, she's wonderful, helped me through everything." The appointment arrived faster than expected. Dr. Martinez, a middle-aged woman with kind eyes, listened without judgment as Amira explained her journey. "How long have you been living full-time as female?" "About a month officially, but really it's been years in private." "And you're certain about hormones?" Amira thought of the mirror that morning, the disconnect between her inner self and the face staring back. "Yes. Blood work, paperwork, prescriptions." The small blue pills looked innocuous for something so life-changing. "Changes come slowly," Dr. Martinez warned. "Be patient with yourself." Patience proved challenging. Amira studied her face daily for signs of softening. Danielle laughed, reminding her that she'd barely noticed gradual changes. "Document it," she suggested, producing a camera. Monthly photos. You'll see the difference eventually. Work adjusted faster than expected. Email signatures changed, nameplates ordered, bathroom access negotiated. Some colleagues stumbled over pronouns initially, but most adapted. The few who didn't were dealt with by HR. 3 months in, Amira noticed her skin felt different. Softer, more sensitive. Her emotions sat closer to the surface. Tears coming easier, but also joy. "Your face is changing," Danielle observed one evening. They were cooking together, a routine now. "Your cheeks are fuller." Amira touched her face self-consciously. "Good different?" "Beautiful different." The auburn wig gradually became less necessary as her natural hair grew. Danielle taught her styling techniques, recommended products, shared the feminine mysteries that mothers usually pass down. "I think I want to grow it out completely," Amira said one Saturday, running fingers through hair that now brushed her shoulders. "Ditch the wig entirely. Your natural color's pretty. That auburn shade suits you." 6 months on hormones brought more changes. Clothes fit differently, requiring a shopping trip for proper undergarments. Danielle navigated the lingerie department like a pro, selecting items that made Amira blush. "Trust me, good foundation garments change everything." She was right. The new bras, sized properly, made Amira's developing curves look natural under her work blouses. The confidence boost was immediate. "I barely recognize old photos," Amira admitted one evening. They were going through boxes, decluttering. Pictures of Eugene felt like another person's life. "That's normal. I sometimes forget I ever lived as Daniel." Danielle held up a college photo. 2 young men grinning at the camera. "Look at us. Had no idea we'd end up here." "Regrets?" "Never. You?" Amira studied the photo. Eugene looked trapped even then, smile not reaching his eyes. Only that it took so long. Year 1 of hormones arrived with fanfare. Danielle made a cake, pink frosting with "Happy Rebirthday" scrawled across it. Amira's body had shifted into unmistakably feminine lines. Her wardrobe hung openly now, no division between secret self and daily presentation. "I've been thinking," Amira said over cake, "about surgery, eventually." "Which ones?" "Face first, maybe? My jaw still bothers me." "Dr. Martinez can recommend surgeons. Take your time deciding." Time felt different now, not racing against discovery, but unfolding naturally. Amira's auburn hair reached mid-back, styled in loose waves for work, pinned up casually at home. The color had deepened slightly, picking up red hints in sunlight. "You look happy," a colleague mentioned during a video call. "Different from a year ago." Different felt like an understatement. Amira had replaced Eugene so completely that male clothing triggered dysphoria. Even her legal documents reflected reality now. Name changed, gender marker corrected. "I need to thank you," Amira told Danielle one evening. They were painting each other's nails, a Sunday tradition. "For showing up that day, for seeing me. You'd have found your way eventually." "Maybe, but having you there made it possible to believe in myself." Danielle's eyes misted. "That's all any of us need. Someone to believe we're worth becoming." The second year brought subtle refinements. Electrolysis eliminated facial hair permanently. Voice training softened speech patterns. Amira moved through the world unremarkably female, the extraordinary achievement of being ordinary. "Remember when you were terrified to leave the apartment dressed?" Danielle asked. They were shopping for a dress. Amira had a date with someone from work. "Barely feels real now." Amira held up a green dress. "Too much?" "Perfect. Brings out your eyes." The date went well. Then another. Dating as Amira felt natural in ways Eugene's attempts never had. She could be present, authentic, without the constant performance of masculinity. "I'm thinking of moving out," Amira mentioned carefully one morning. "Things with Marcus are getting serious." Danielle's face flickered before settling into a smile. "That's wonderful. You deserve happiness. You saved my life, you know." "You saved your own. I just held the door open." Moving day felt bittersweet. Boxes packed with clothes that no longer needed hiding. The auburn wig, retired but kept for sentimentality, nestled between dresses worn proudly. "Visit often," Danielle demanded, hugging tight. "And remember, you were always her. You just needed space to let her breathe." The new apartment, shared with Marcus, who'd only ever known Amira, felt like another beginning. Unpacking her wardrobe into their shared closet, no separation or secrecy, brought tears. "You okay?" Marcus asked, finding her crying over a purple dress. "Perfect." She hung the dress prominently, just remembering how far I've come. That night, brushing out her long auburn hair before bed, Amira caught her reflection. The woman in the mirror bore no resemblance to Eugene. That scared boy who'd hidden dresses in the back of closets felt like fiction now. Her phone buzzed, a text from Danielle. "Thinking of you. Proud of who you've become." Amira smiled, typing back. "Couldn't have done it without you. You'd have found a way. Strong women always do." Strong woman. The words settled into her bones. Truth finally aligned with reality. Tomorrow she'd wake up as herself, dress as herself, move through the world as herself. No costume, no performance, no division. Just Amira, auburn hair catching morning light, living the life she'd always deserved. The purple dress swayed gently in the closet, a reminder of first steps. But now her whole wardrobe sang with possibility. Silk blouses for work, sundresses for weekends, the little black dress for special occasions. Each piece chosen not in secret shame, but open celebration. Marcus found her on the balcony later, night air cool on her skin. "Coming to bed?" "In a minute." She leaned into his warmth. "Just thinking." "About?" "How lucky I am. How different life could have been." He kissed her temple. "I'm the lucky one." After he went inside, Amira remained, city lights twinkling below. Somewhere out there, other scared people hid their truth in closet backs. Maybe one day, someone would knock on their door, transformed and radiant, showing them it was possible to become. For now, though, Amira simply existed. Auburn hair dancing in the breeze, comfortable in her skin, finally home in a body and life that fit. The journey from Eugene to herself hadn't been easy, but standing there, whole and authentic, she wouldn't change a moment. The night embraced her, one woman among millions, extraordinary in her ordinariness. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, new joys, new moments of simply being. But tonight, Amira was exactly where and who she needed to be. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my other socials if you want more content, early access, behind the scenes, and more. All links down below.